Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your patience, and we are back with game number 1 between Team Dignitas and Team Liquid, two North American All-Stars. Team Dignitas is going to open up the draft with Batrider, and we have a lot to talk about with that. But before that, this is the Beyond the Summit presentation of the We Play lower brackets. I'm Luminous, and I'm joined by Merlini alongside. So we were just talking about who we thought had a better chance. Normally, we would kind of agree that Team Liquid definitely the favorite. They've been the red-hot team. I want to say for the last 3-4 weeks, just beating out just about everybody in the North American scene and the Western scene. But I was predicting it against them simply because they don't have their 5. But Batrider generally tend to lead to some awesome games when you're playing against Team Liquid in the form of a Slark. So let's see if we're going to see that today.
Again, I think they should just deal with it just by banning it out in the second phase. I mean, you have 3 bans, might as well use one of them because it seems like Team Liquid has prepared very well against Batrider with their use of Slark. So Liquid will counter the Batrider pick with Lifestealer at Magnus. Very solid first 2 picks. Unfortunately, Liquid has already banned out Lone Druid, so we won't see that ridiculous combination of Lifestealer, Magnus, and Lone Druid that we've seen given away a couple times that just led to pretty much like 20-25 minute stomps.
Yeah, both these American teams has been sent to losers. I believe Team Liquid was sent down by EG, and then I think Team Dignitas sent down by Alliance. So loser of this best of 3 will go home straight up, and winner stays alive and keep playing. So if you guys haven't seen Team Dignitas play, they like to draft very greedily. Basically, maybe even 2 junglers, maybe even 3 junglers at times, especially on the Radiant jungle. You could definitely pull multiple cams if you could tunnel through, for example. And we're going to see a return of Shadow Demon for Team Liquid. This is a hero that we haven't seen too often lately. And you often wonder why. He's one of the few supports in the entire game. As a support that has ways to deal with the BKB hero. Of course, I'm talking about the Demonic Purge. And Rubik being the other one of them that can steal through BKB. And of course, if you could steal RP, well, that's the spell that goes through BKB as well.
Yeah, and I think Team Liquid values Shadow Demon a lot more than other teams, often picking it out in the first phase. He just makes your lane so flexible, and you can't ban out all the follow. I mean, sure, they're probably gonna ban out Lina and Lesh, but that means that they have the Slark pick open to them, as we know Team Liquid likes, and there's still always follow-up that you can do with them. You can do Chen, you can do Enchantress, you can do Lina, you can do Leshrac. There's just so many things that work in combination with Disrupt, and it's just a great setup spell for triple lanes.
Yep, Templar Assassin's going to get banned out here. Snake King's TA is definitely very impressive. Another hero that should get banned out eventually by Team Dignitas, I imagine, is Boba's Clock, who's been... He doesn't feel like he's always dominating the game, but if you look at teamfights carefully, he's always the one that's initiating or zoning out some key heroes. When he's playing against the Magnus, for example, that Rocket Filler is always on top. And there you go, Team Dignitas, definitely the respect, and we'll ban him out.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm curious what they will ban for their last pick, just because there's so many heroes that they kind of need to ban, but can't. Like, you can ban out Lesh if you're more afraid of a push strategy, but teams can almost always substitute Lina instead of Lesh. And, again, you still have to be afraid of the Chen, the early game pressure from Chen.
Yeah,
too.
Definitely. I kind of personally want to see a Visage. I know Team Liquid's been running it through Fluff and stuff. And to be honest, I feel like it tackles against Team Dignitas' playstyle quite well. They like to, again, rise very much early on. So they pick these kind of greedy lineup where I imagine Rubik will be just supporting AOE 2000 on that safe lane on bot. And that's going to be a 2-man lane. And you could definitely punish it. Or if you want to roam your 2 supports in the jungle, you could punish it there either. You have some great initiation in the form of Disrupt as well as Open Moon. So I think the setup is there. But I haven't seen that hero too often lately now from Team Liquid. So... it just is my wish, but I don't think it's going to come true.
Liquid definitely wants to win their triple lane, though. They're banning out Weaver. Weaver is one of the few heroes that can lane pretty well versus the Lifestealer and a Shadow Demon. No stuns or silences in between the 2 of them, so Weaver will usually just be able to escape scotch-free. But other than that, there are not too many other heroes. Bat and or Nature's Prophet, whoever they get paired up against, is going to get destroyed in lane, most likely, even though we have yet to see the remaining member of their triple lane. So most likely Team Dignitas is going to be forced to jungle from the start.
Yeah, what are some of the other kind of long lane hero left for Team Liquid to look into? Talked about Clock, that's gone. Darkseer's already banned out. Druid's not there. Weaver's not there. None of the really, I guess, standard Boba heroes out there. Prophet's also picked up, so...
Dude, we could see Slark.
That's always...
Slark,
yeah, that's always a possibility. And again, the Slark bad matchup, that's what the matchup Team Liquid wants, so... And there's no ban, right? They banned out Nyx
Right.
Assassin, which is, a fair ban. Nothing wrong against that one. So we might see TL just straight up pick Slark. Although Mouseport also picked Slark today. It didn't really work out. Wait,
They
did
put him in
actually?
the mid role though. I don't think he's that good in mid, just because, like, I mean, he's okay with runes, but I mean, what are you gonna do? Spam Dark Pact, like a spell like Shockwave or Illusory Orb or Scream of Pain? Most of the other mid heroes have just way better uses of their mana than just spamming Dark Pact. I mean, I think he's okay, but he's better suited in more niche matchups.
Yeah, maybe a 1v1 matchup, or even as kind of the farmer role in the trialing. We'll see. Team Liquid looking for another carry, and probably their solo mid as well. It's gonna be Luna, and I feel that Team Dignitas plays very well when they have the Luna. They love to play group up Dota, and Aoi's very good about teleporting to that mid lane, for example, once he gets to level 7 or 8, and just do a very dangerous push. That's generally the time when Batrider, if he's unharassed in lane or in the jungle, gets a quick blink dagger, and it's so hard to defend against this push. Treants in front, Luna Aura being provided, and more importantly, Eclipse is such a powerful threat. Especially that's generally a time where Magnus haven't farmed his blink dagger up yet, and it's just so damn hard to defend against that. We'll see if Team Liquid is ready against this big push that will eventually come.
Yeah, I like this team out, a team coming out from Dignitas. They have like the split pressure necessary. You can usually just kill someone with Batrider +1. You can apply with Lunar Blessing and Force of Nature just all around the map, and just really force Liquid to split up and move around the map and react to what Team Dignitas does. They do have that RP, which is their only saving grace, but if they're forced to move around the map a lot, they're easily going to be picked up by Batrider ganks with Firefly and Lasso and Blink, or Nature's Prophet TPing in. And I think that if Team Dignitas can split Liquid up effectively around the map and just win their lanes like decently, they just don't have to get owned in the lane is what really needs to happen. And I think they'll be in a pretty good position to split push and outfarm Team Liquid.
And here's that Skywrath mage that you've been waiting for all day, and we're going to see Team Liquid drafting this one. We still don't know whether it's going to be a support or on that farmer solo mid row. I think this is a decent pickup, but more importantly, they are taking it away from Snaking, as the matchup between Skywrath and Magnus heavily favors Skywrath. So kind of a ban and a draft in the same pick here. And
yeah,
we'll
they have
see
a
how
lot
it
of
goes.
good. They have a lot of good setups for it too. Like Open Wound, pretty significant slow. They have RP if they want to follow that up with a Mystic Flare and a Disrupt Soul Catcher into Ancient Seal. Mystic Flare will be like almost certain death for any hero unless they have BKB.
Ancient Seal already boosts by a healthy amount, and of course Soul Catcher boosts by 50%. We could see some insane 100% to 0 death, instant KO kind of thing coming out from Skywrath Mage. But Enchantress is going to be the last pickup here, so suddenly we're going to see Batrider mid. And this is something that we haven't seen for a long time. I think the only team that runs Batrider mid nowadays consistently is Alliance, and that's for just completely dominate games with his own bat. So I'm guessing it's going to be Nature's Prophet top, Batrider mid. You have Rubik supporting Aoi on the bot lane, the Luna Enchantress or Luna Rubik combo, and then you have Enchantress in the jungle.
So for Team Liquid, most likely we are not going to see a Slark pick just because of this Skywrath Mage. So either Skywrath Mage or Magnus Middle, we will almost certainly be able to tell just by who's playing it. And then Lifestealer and Shadow Demon, 2 of the 3 in their remaining triple lane.
I mean, you still can go Slark if he wants to go the Bat Slark matchup. You put Skywrath as a support, which we did see. I think Cupid Red Panda was running it like that. Put Mini on it 2 games in a row, and Sing Sing as a solo mid. So, but they're gonna go with the tried and true Juggernaut, which very difficult to initiate against, especially when he's spinning. You could lasso him, but it's hard to bring him down with just physical damage. But we'll talk about more of that later. Boba will be playing Juggernaut, so it seems like that's gonna be their offlane hero. Whether it's gonna be offensive or not, we'll have to wait and see.
Yep, and Korok picking up that Skywrath Mage will most likely be the solo mid instead of Mass, although I'm not sure. I don't think I've ever seen Korok playing a support role in a true competitive game.
Yeah, I imagine it's going to be the solo mid. And how do you feel that this matchup's going to go back and forth? The Batrider versus the Skywrath Mage. It seems like Magic Stick would help both of these guys quite a bit.
Yeah, I think the Skywrath Mage has the slight edge in this, but again, if he gets 4 more sacks, it's almost certain death for the Skywrath Mage. But I have not seen this matchup before. I expect Skywrath Mage to have a slight advantage, though.
Yeah, the cool thing about the way that the concussive shot fires off is I don't think it's an instant cast spell, and I don't think your hero needs to turn around. I'm not exactly positive of that. And when your hero
You don't
doesn't
need
need
to turn around.
Do you do or do not?
You do not.
Okay, and that's a very important point, right? Because the turn rate being slowed down, if you need to turn around to catch or slow to escape, that's a big deal for Batrider. So I think with that in mind, maybe Skywrath Mage has, again, a slight edge. He's going for a very stat-heavy build, no pulling on his side. Meanwhile, Batrider, gonna go for boots first, so this is really, really aggressive. He's gonna take advantage of the fact that Skywrath Mage has 1 starting armor, thanks to a couple of GG branches, and really punish him for it. Let's see if it's gonna work out, or maybe he's gonna be going on top lane. We'll see.
I'm just very surprised to not see Korok pick up a magic stick. I mean, he could just sell one of his he could have sold one of his branches to pick up a magic stick. He does have 151 gold, so with that 53, that's 204, just enough for a magic stick, and that just helps so much for his Batrider, especially with a mana-intensive hero like Skywrath Mage. So introducing the Radiant side, we see Way Too Sexy on the Enchantress, Fogged on the support Rubik. 2 parts of the triple lane right there. We see LeBron James, also known as Universe, on the solo Batrider middle, Aoi 2000 on the Luna, the safe lane carry farmer, and Snaking on the off lane, or most likely jungle Nature's Prophet.
I think he's going mid. If you look at his go right now,
oh yeah, I actually think so. You're right.
Yeah, so this is a return of the old school solo mid Nature's Prophet. This goes back to the day of Miguel. He loves to play it mid, and he plays it so well. He's actually not that bad as a mid hero, considering the fact that he does have a very decent animation. Generally, if you go mid with Nature's Prophet, you don't actually max your treeing quite a bit. You put sprouts and teleports and whatnot, but we'll talk about that a little bit later on. First blood already drawn in the jungle. I don't think you caught that one. Your cursor was not there, and well, as always, I don't catch first blood. And looks like Ike's Mike was able to pick up that one. He's going to be playing the Shadow Demon. It's going to be the 4-row Magnus. Team Liquid does this sometime. Fluff and Stuff always play this. Great skewer initiation. Boba's going to be on the Juggernaut. Korok on the mid lane of Skywrath Mage, like we pointed out, and last but not least, TC on the top lane against Lifestealer, and he's having a tough matchup there as well.
Yeah, and I did not see that first look, but I assume it was just initiation on Fog. For some reason, they do not have a ward on bottom lane over here, whereas Liquid does, and I think they just got initiated on up the hill. I did not expect that to happen, because usually Radiant has a huge advantage simply because of that hill.
Yeah, Fluff and Stuff's going to get driven away. I think he's trying to place this particular Observe Ward and do so without being seen. And he's still kind of running back and forth. I'm not sure exactly what he's going to accomplish.
Snaking.
Back in the mid lane of Snaking is going to go down. Concussive shot at level 2 with a whole bunch of Arcane Bolt spam. And, well, I guess that really answers... Wow, Korok.
Taunting right there.
Wow, that's better than any taunt thing that you could drop in-game. Like, the real all-chat taunts.
Yeah, for real. I mean, Snaking is somewhat of a cocky player, and I think he talks a lot of smack, so just a little bit of return fire there from Korok. Snaking actually going very unusual bottle build, I think, with Nature's Prophet. This is a very rare pickup. Most Prophets, even if you are solo mid, usually opt for that Midas.
Yeah, and this is going back to what... This is good old Dota 1 memory with some Vietnamese Dota. So soon, if for those of you guys that watch old school Dota still remember him, always goes solo mid Prophet. We'll see if it's going to be channeling some of his legendary performance. But seems like Snaking having some trouble, just continuously spams those Treant. It's going to go around Korok, and having a low base armor, he's going to take a ton of punishment. But on the same round, Korok getting a ton of EXP as well. He's almost going to hit level 5, and that bottle curling will be extremely effective as well. How's TC doing on the top lane? Every time you look at here, he's sitting on 3-4 stacks constantly.
Yeah, he doesn't have a magic stick, and it looks like TC will initiate in Fluff. Wow,
always.
So is this like support Magnus?
Yeah, support Magnus is skewer. It's working out perfectly, and as a support Magnus, it's actually not that bad. I've seen him always getting some decent item at the late game, because you could always catch up with Shockwave, and more importantly, Empower as a later kind of farming mechanism.
So Korok still continuously keeping this pressure on him, thinking already forced to use his salve, and he's out of regen right now except for one lone tango. And we see very smart observer. We had a really smart observer here by Liquid, just trying to be a little bit out of the ways so that it didn't get dewarded. But looks like Fogged will spot that out. So this dual lane for Liquid now has to play very, very defensively, especially now that Fluff is all the way on top and there's 3 people down on bottom. Enchantress will continue to put out a lot of pressure on there.
Yeah, that first blood, which we both missed, was kind of very big deal for Team Liquid. Because of that, they have this slight level and gold advantage, and really will allow Fluff to move away. And of course, when you have hero like Juggernaut on the off lane, you really don't die, because how do they actually kill you? The only way I see them killing them is maybe a TP in from Nature's Prophet and ground target a Sprout. But of course, Juggernaut could even cut out of that one. There's no really true slows or stuns. And he could spin away from basically anything. So I think Juggernaut should be fine, especially if he gets that 40 auto goal with the booted speed. And you can see that Ix Mike also has his boot already thanks to that first blood. So for the most part, Team Liquid should be okay, and they're definitely taking advantage of at least 2.5 lane. I want to say that they're close to winning all 3, especially with their 0-3 starts.
And yeah, back to what we were saying about Juggernaut, they really don't have anything for him. Maybe at nighttime they can try and gank him. Actually, Dignitas has a huge advantage during nighttime. Enchantress has full ultra vision, meaning she has 1800 range during 1800 vision range during nighttime, as well as Luna with the Lunar Blessing. So I think that Dignitas should try and make every attempt to just fight a lot during nighttime. That vision range is actually ridiculously good, and half the game they're going to have that, especially with Batrider Firefly. Having a vision advantage is such a big deal.
Yeah, and Team Liquid normally used to playing with things like Rocket from Boba. Will not have it this game. I guess Ix Mike, once he picks up a point into Shadow Poison, will have a slight equalizer there. But yeah, it's kind of different. Ultra Vision, a nice reference back to some Warcraft 3 ladder.
Them Night Elves.
Yeah, Night Elf research, man. Get that research at nighttime. Were you a Night Elf player back in those days?
Best 50 gold in lumber I've ever spent.
There you go. Sending some moon power as well. There you go. Looks like the game has resumed. And maybe it's just a little bit lag coming out from Team Liquid. So, these tree harass is actually kind of being quite annoying to Korok. Again, because that low armor, he's just actually getting harassed back. And of course, Snake King, though, still having a very tough time in that lane. And the CS, though, is quite even from both sides.
King.
Ooh, dude, actually, Sprouting is going to go right on Korok's going to have another Arcane Bow. He's going to fight his way out of there. Ancient Steel not being used. Korok's going to go down, but not before he gets another kill. LeBron is in position to get a little bit of EXP, but I think that trade still favored Korok a little bit more.
Definitely, especially since, or actually he didn't get experience, so it's still pretty good. But setting Snaking back is pretty big deal. He does have his bottle right now and sitting on 400 gold, so he's not looking in terrible shape right now.
Yeah, and but the thing is, once the Skywrath Mage gets closer and closer to level 6, I think Nature's Prophet is going to have a tougher and tougher time. Back in the top lane here, since Batrider has left the lane, the Quelling Blade TC will be just getting to his last set away. Looks like Universe is going to be start jungling a little bit. Not really comfortable sitting in lane because of the fact that, hey, there is a fluff that keep coming out. And it looks like Korok. Yeah, Korok's going to go for the kill here. Ancient Steel, Arcane Bolt, and a couple of concussive shot. And then right clicker too. I think he's gonna be going down. Shockwave is gonna get the kill. Shockwave 1000 range. He's stuck up here, and let me tell you, there's a ward up here, and he's gonna feed away the kill. Korok 5.5. Snake King, not too bad on himself, also 5.5. Getting the HP.
Yeah, Universe taking a big gamble there that there was not a reserve ward here. Usually when you have an aggressive triple lane, like Liquid does, they have both wards set up on bot. They had one close to the rune, which we actually see now, and another one down here. So I think he was banking on the fact that they didn't have a reserve ward, but lucky for Liquid, they did and were able to score an easy kill on Universe. Looks like he might die again over here.
Yeah, very aggressive TP. Unfortunately, Fluff and stuff uses mana for the Shockwave instead of the Skewer. And he's gonna have to be back out there. There's no magic stick here for Fluff to take advantage of the napalm stack. Maybe he should pick one up really soon, but he also needs boots. And this is somewhat of the downfall of a support Magnus, is that sure his spells are very powerful, but once you use it a couple of twice, you don't have the bottle, you don't have the arcane boots for the quick regen.
So now that Observer Ward is taken out on bottom with a Sentry Ward, Boba is forced into a very defensive position, only level 4, even after getting a relatively nice start with that first blood out on Fogged.
Yeah, and well, he's still trying to get some EXP range. Yeah, you see Ix Mike trying to get in position. They could initiate this 2 different ways. They could concussive shot into a disrupt and then follow through, and that's exactly what they will do. The slow being applied, that's a 40% slow. Disruption is right there. Korok getting ready, throw his ultimate out. Unfortunately, there isn't a slow to follow through. A couple more physical right click will get the kill, though. Snake King, he's dead. The question is, will Korok die? 2 big Satyr, Shockwave 1, Shockwave 2. They both hit. Unfortunately, just not enough follow-up damage. So yet another kill going against Snake King. Snake King is playing a Prophet, which is one of those heroes that needs some decent early game start. You generally get it in the jungle in the form of Quick Midas. Now he's having a tough time. That's his 3rd death, I believe it was.
And I mean, he's forced to go like a normal mid build, which is boots and magic stick, but Nature's Prophet is not the best with those kind of items. He's really more suited to a more farm-oriented build, and I think he actually could have gotten away there. He kind of ran up over here, and instead of just running let's say left straight to back the tower and then going in for that sprout at the end, I feel like he could have gotten away because they had no way of slowing him down. They already blew concussive shot. They already used disrupt too. So I think he could have survived and maybe made it 2 deaths instead of 3.
Yeah, maybe he wanted to set up a kill for his Enchantress. Maybe trading. He felt like trading's a little bit better. And looks like they go one more time. But Taystream gonna immediately gonna get him away. Korok gonna get Flame Lasso. And I don't think Korok will make it out of this one. Yeah, a ton of direct wide kick damage. He's gonna try to bother through that one, but no cigar. Good kill here being done by Dignitas. They needed that one badly because Korok was about to get really out of control with his 4 or 5 kills.
And looks like Bobo is trying to rotate mid, but no Omni Slash up yet. Still only 5.5. So looking at farm right now, last hits, Luna is on top of the charts right now with 41, and Lifestealer with 36. I want to say
mid fight's happening right now, and LeBron's gonna try to TP out, and he will actually do so as well. I think the Fest was a little bit too late. Don't think they would have got the kill regardless, but they drew a TP coming out from, or they drew a TP from TP. They made Boba walk from bot to mid, and still nothing was accomplished. So I want to say that's a decent win here for Team Dignitas. But you were kind of looking over something else. Well, a little bit more action happening on the bot lane here. Fluff trying to get the tower last hit. He does get the tower last hit before his death, and here comes Korok. Korok gets lifted in the air, and he was not able to throw out his ultimate. The ultimate does have a very long cast range, but looks like he's gonna turn around. Again, a big win here, even though trading a Fluff for a tower kill. You did that trade anything.
it looks like they want to go on Korok. Yeah, I think that was good enough for Fluff. He was going to die anyways, so might as well get a tower wire at it. And Korok is actually not that rich considering how many kills he has. He's 4-2 right now, but only sitting on borrowed boots of speed.
He's only got 18 last hits.
Oh yeah. In general, this game is actually like pretty low in last hit. 8. Oh, Fog is gonna get got on by TC right here.
Yeah, I don't think Fog is gonna survive TC though. He doesn't have mana for rage, so a single lift if Fog has the mana for it, he doesn't either. Big. Oh, actually pushing him towards Fog. Flaming Lasso will get him out of there. Meanwhile, the Skywrath Mage gonna clean up on behind, and they should be able to come out alive. LeBron's still chasing her. Meanwhile, Magnus finding another kill. Was it happening on the bot lane? It was a skewer backwards and allowing Boba and his ally to get kills. Kills just happening absolutely everywhere. But the thing is, I want to commend Fluff for playing a support Magnus so well. It just shows you that, yeah, sure, this hero always goes solo mid, but his skill set very suitable for a support, it seems like.
And, I mean, Magnus is just a ridiculous hero, and one of those super flexible heroes that just fits well in any role. You can fit him in support, as we see Fluff play here. You can still see him on offlane, and we see that he denied Korok.
Yeah. And Cuss of Shot is gonna fly out here. Enchantress trying to throw a couple of impetus. Not gonna have the effect there. I think Magnus definitely needs his arcane boots to make himself more of a mid-game impact, and he will have it very soon thanks to the multiple tower push being done here by Team Liquid. Meanwhile, Aoi, we haven't talked about him at all. How is he farming? He's actually leading the highest farming game. He's gonna chase for the kill. One more beam? No. Don't want to take an Omni Slash. Oh, no mountain for the Omni Slash. Maybe he should have chased. Who knows?
Yeah, I thought Snaking was going to TP in there, but instead he opted TP bottom. So there's been so much action around that, we haven't really had time to look on the charts. But looks like Korok is going to go on Fog in the middle again.
And man, I'm not sure whether Fog will survive that one. He definitely cannot. 2 heroes versus 1. Korok, one of the highest nuking hero in the entire game. He's got his arcane. He really needs to step up his last hitting game. I thought he would be leading in terms of CS in that mid matchup simply because you could actually hit those treants and get a couple of extra gold there as well. But I guess a Treant harass was simply too much for him to handle.
Yeah, and even with the 6 kill lead and 1 tower lead for Liquid, they're actually behind, or they're actually only slightly ahead on experience and gold. Only 500 XP in favor of them and less than 500 gold advantage for them.
Yeah,
so we see a smoke and a bomb.
Yeah, and that's a ton of hero ganking their way. They gotta be somewhat careful of open wound's gonna be used, spin's gonna come through, zero RP. Wow, just so much pressure on Aoi. And he was farming beautifully before this, and he will have to pay for it. Net worth, though, is actually the lifestealer that's leading. So even though Aoi leading the farm chart, TC, and the fact that TC's been joining all these ganks, he's ahead right now, getting those solo kill on Fog here and there, being involved in this particular kill. And it looks like they're going to try to pressure this tier 1.
Yeah, and good movement from Liquid using that smoke to bypass this ward. Aoi thought he was safe, and none of the supports were there to react in time because of that very good use of smoke.
It looks like here comes the Radiant team going through the jungle. Fluff may not have an RP, but Skewer is still a very good spell. A little bit of scouting being done by Universe. Keep in mind that there is some Omni Slash shield on the... Ooh, looks like Korok trying to fight those Centaurs. Purge on top of LeBron, but also there's a Flaming Lasso on TC. Looks like Ice Mike's gonna be dead immediately, and Omni Slash gonna be used. Silence on Aoi, so it looks like Eclipse was also dropped. But looks like the Dire has fought in too deep of enemy jungle, and they will pay for with double kill on Aoi. That Eclipse on the back line is doing a ton of damage, and Snaking and his team will definitely transition into a push.
Yeah, what a stomp by Way2 right there. He had a Centaur stomp on 2 of those heroes. I'm not actually sure whether it was a neutral or his control creep, but regardless, the Centaur stun set that whole thing up.
Yeah, tier 1's gonna go down. Ix Mike trying his best to defend, but he's gotta be very careful. And this is, again, kind of what we pointed out during the draft stage, where Luna is really, really powerful as a hero. Because she has Eclipse, unfortunately, used in the team fight, and a high level of her aura, actually maxing her aura in this game. Generally, you see Luna going back to a couple points in Moonglade, but the fact that she had maxed her aura really increased everybody's damage output by a ton, and will allow people to push easily like that. TC going back in the jungle has the treads and drums finished. I wonder what's going to be next item choice. Generally, Basher is the standard transition, or maybe just an armlet curve flying in just for the clarity. Yeah, both teams kind of farming away. In terms of a more passive game, I think I want to say favors the Radiant a little bit more because Batrider working towards it. In fact, he has his Blink Dagger. I take that back. So, in fact, I think with the Blink Dagger up, Dignitas should be looking to get a ton of ganks, whether through smokes, and then buy Aoi a ton of time to farm anywhere he wants to farm.
Yeah, I think they passed this like early game part where Fioran is not the best solo mid hero, and like Luna is not the best early game hero, but they've gotten through this little hump, and now everything's starting to kick in. They got their Blink Dagger on Batrider, and they're like starting to be strong enough where they can get to the point where they can split push and just split Liquid up. So hopefully they can continue to do that to gain their advantage. In terms of graph, it's just been everywhere for an XP earned, slightly in Liquid's favor, but now 1,500 in favor of Dignitas for XP, and gold earned definitely in Dignitas' favor right now with around 2,000.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to try to set up a gank on TC up top. He may have Rage, he may have Infest, but Batrider is smoked up, looking for that initiation right now. Firefly, he's going to open up. The burst damage is got to be there. They're going to kill all the creeps there as well. Is that Omni Slash being stolen? Yes, Fog had Omni Slash. Couple ultimates being used, a couple of nukes being dropped, and TC is going to go down as well. He's now leading in terms of Lasso, and look at that, snaking TPs immediately. It's fully taking advantage of the fact that everybody on the team will get plus 38 damage. That's a ton of right-click damage, and imagine tier 1 tower will go down as well. Looks like Team Liquid wants to defend this one. RP is available, Arcane Boots is not. So you can see that Fluff and stuff is, I mean, he's going to try, all he has for the same fight is Skewer and RP. He doesn't even have a Shockwave after that, he just doesn't have that mana.
Yeah, TC revives in 5 seconds, so I think they will defend this if he can revive and TP in time, but if he cannot...
Uh-oh, Fluff and stuff. Ice Mike gets sent forward by that huge Flame Break, and that's yet another kill. Are they going to chase with this Blink Dagger? Flame Lasso is down for 40 seconds, so... The lack of Glyph really hurt them there. If they had a Glyph, they could have delayed just a tiny bit longer for that TP in. But alas, Team Liquid's going to lose yet another outer tower.
Yeah, I think they actually used Glyph, but it just wasn't enough. He was just dead for a little bit too long. But very high priority kill on the Lifestealer that just really gave him a lot of momentum. That was TC's first death of the game. He rarely dies on Lifestealer, but here we see like the power of Batrider. Being able to Blink Lasso initiate is just so strong.
Yeah, I feel like the weakness of Skywrath Mage compared to the heroes that Korok usually like to play is that Korok is usually very dominant. He finds solo kill absolutely everywhere. With the Storm Strafe, for example, with his Templar Assassin, Puck. In this game, I just haven't felt like he had that impact. When we saw Dendi play the Skywrath Mage, he just basically traveled with one of his supports. I think Kuroki was his big partner in that game, and just smoked up and found ganks in the enemy jungle. But I don't think Team Liquid is feeling safe enough to do so, not against Eclipse that could be coming out of nowhere, as well as a Blink Dagger bat. So I think they're forced into this passivity, and it just doesn't suit Team Liquid's playstyle. When they win big. They go for kills, they go for tower pushes, and so far none of that is actually happening right now.
So it looks like Snaking is foregoing the Midas in favor of an Orchid Rush. I think Orchid's very good here, very spell-dependent heroes, and Juggernaut is not a hero that you get BKB on, and same with Lifestealer, so if you can pop them before, oh, we see a smoke gank.
Yeah, I think they're gonna find themselves a Magnus. Or maybe it's gonna be Ix Mike. Ix Mike definitely the easier kill. Will Skewer's gonna get lifted halfway through. Fox got the Skewer, and now he's gonna get sprouted as well. Korok comes in, concussive shot being flown out as well. Skewers for the kill. Fog is playing out of his mind right now. TC comes in, his rage is almost out. He's gonna get sprouted as well. You can see Snaking does drop on the spell. Omni Slash comes in as well as immediate into a spin. And you can still wait to sexy, barely he's gonna die. And here comes AUI, huge Eclipse, gonna get 1 kill. TC's on the run. He's out. Oh, nice tree blocking coming. What play from Snaking? You might be magically immune, but you still can get body block. Sprout's gonna be on the ground as well. They're waiting. The 6-second immunity's out. Beam, right clicks coming out from LeBron, and he just got dunked on. Croc's gonna go down as well. That's a 5-man wipe. Ike's Mike's through the fight. He's gonna disrupt. Snaking's gonna TP out. He's gonna be fine. And look at LeBron, he's also going to make a skewer back in, and maybe they get AEI. He's going to try to TP out there as well. He will TP out. Dignitas is playing like they're the gods of Dota. I think Fog will be the only person dropping, but that last 30 seconds was some of the best Dota I've ever seen.
That was
Impressive
just
play.
such clutch engagement by Dignitas right there. They had the positioning on top of the hill right there and smoke, but they just had some really clutch plays. That block by hashtag the King Snaking with those treants on the Magic Immune Lifestealer and the telekinesis during the skewer on the Magnus, and then stealing the skewer and killing Magnus before the RP. Just all around great play by Dignitas.
Yeah, and looks like the great play. The hit parade will continue. Fluff and stuff will get caught out on the back line, and he may have had a really good early game, but this mid game is just not following through, as Dignitas is just surgically destroying them right now, one after another. And keep in mind that these mid-game objective, the tier 2 towers, will soon fall. The Roshan's going to be in big trouble as well. And Lifestealer's not exactly a great comeback hero. I mean, he's going to have a kill or two in these team fights, but it's not a gyrocopter that has, you know, ultra late game option with the Divine. I'm not exactly sure where Team Liquid goes from here.
I think he's actually going for BKB, checking his item C as a Ogre club. But yeah, Team Liquid does not do too well when they're forced to play passive. Again, as you like to said, they like to be aggressive and just sweep the whole entire map, but they're forced into this defensive position because their supports constantly get picked off. We've seen Shadow Demon get picked off a couple of times. We've seen Fluff in very compromising positions, and again, their supports are not able to go in and around the map. Even their carries are too. Like we saw Liquid get picked off on the left side with that Lifestealer, and again, they just don't feel safe anywhere around the map. And Dignitas just has very, very good map control. Maybe not enough map control to take out Roshan right now, especially with that positioning, but in most of the late and even in the enemy's jungle, I don't think Liquid feels very safe.
Yeah, now on top of that, there's going to be an Orchid, of course, on the Nature's Prophet, and that's going to make ganks even more difficult, especially against a Lifestealer. You can't rage, you're dead. Not even body block necessary to get those kills now. So Team Liquid gotta hunker down, maybe play a little bit more defensively. Definitely not their playstyle, but oh no, TC.
Another smoke.
Yep, it's gonna get another gank on TC. And TC's slow reaction there, and he's gonna eat an Eclipse. Oh no, he's gonna go down easily as well. Looks like Snake's trapped on top of that cliff, but he should be fine because Universe is gonna be driving everybody away. He sees Fluff, he's not gonna chase for it. And Team Liquid loses TC yet once again.
Yeah, and things are not looking good for them at all. Just unable to find farm on the carries, and Aoi is pretty rich right now. So looking at last hits, looks like Nyx is still on top of the last hits, but he's a whopping 2,000 net worth behind Furion. So that just shows how much gold he's lost from these 3 deaths.
Team Liquid not going to be out of it just yet. They're looking for a big smoke. They know the Lasso is going to be down for a bit. Concussive shot. They're going to focus on LeBron Purge. Nice force staff outwards. But here comes Fluff. The RP's got to be big, but he gets Orchid Silence, and he's going to go down. Oh no, there's an offensive disruption, a defensive disruption being used on Boba. But Boba's gonna actually Omni Slash. He's jumping back and forth. Korok's gonna get picked off. Tower's gonna get picked off. Boba comes back in, but maybe he shouldn't, as there's a 4-man team wipe. And here comes Dignitas. They still have that aura on Luna, and I think they're gonna go for it. The melee racks, I'm not sure how long that will stand up.
Wow, what an Orchid by Snaking there. They're just doing a very good job of keeping MP or keeping Magnus from RPing, and that's a GG. 20-minute game. 19-12 is the kill score.
And remember how the game started. It was first blood on the bot lane against Ixmy picked it up, and it was Fluff rotating up top, getting a kill there. And then remember Batrider was trying to Firefly in jungle. He got picked off. It was Team Liquid. The whole game was theirs in the first at least 5-6 minutes. They were killing Snaking in the mid game for a couple of times, and it just had a remarkable recovery from Team Dignitas, and they just went all the way. Great team fight. It looks like they will take game 1 in this best of 3 series. This is impressive Dota.
Yeah, I mean, Liquid's lineup doesn't have that much synergy though. I mean, they have Magnus, but he's not going to have a blink anytime soon. No, remember, he was in the support role, so it just seems Dignitas' lineup was just well put together, and they played it very well, even after the first couple of deaths by Snaking in the middle.
Yeah, maybe we need some Slark action soon, because that's got to be the bad answer. But we'll see if that's going to happen in game number 2 He is Merlini, I am Luminous. We'll be back for game 2. Don't go anywhere, guys. Some great Dota coming your way.